The first question is, could you inform about your organization? What are the main goals of your organization and what project are you implementing now?
So, our organization, it's International Center for Geopolitical Studies. We established in 2008. So mainly we are focused on the foreign relations. The main goal is to support Georgia's European and Euro-Atlantic aspiration, strengthening regional cooperation, regional security. Of course, we are focused on the occupied territories, relations with Russia, Russia's military power, soft power, as well as, of course, regional cooperation, energetic relationship with strategic partners like Azerbaijan, Turkey, and other neighboring countries.
And how do you assess the regional situation? What are the main threats to the security and stability in the South Caucasus region? How frozen conflicts could be solved in this region?
Actually, everyone knows that situation in our region is not simple because of conflict. First of all, because of conflicts. Actually, sometimes I wonder when I heard definition frozen conflicts, because maybe they are frozen for the observers or maybe some others who are looking at the process from outside, but regrettably for the people who feel everyday results of this conflicts, it's not frozen. It's the same, it's regarding Karabakh conflict and regarding Georgia's occupied territories. We see that the occupation is still in the process, and just a few weeks ago we had accident when Russia's military shift occupation line, and regrettably this is a very dangerous process for Georgia, for Azerbaijan, and the entire regional security. This is, of course, it has many reasons, many problems, and of course the main, what is the similar in the conflicts on the free territories to Georgia occupied territories and Karabakh, it's the Russian interests, because the controlling tension, it's the instrument which Russia used against the countries which already made their free choice to join and to be closer to the Western community, and who don't agree to be as a part of Russia's so-called sphere of privilege interest. Independent of South Caucasus countries, regrettably it's mentioned as a threat for Russian national security, and this is our main problem, of course.
In this situation, how Georgia builds its relationship with neighboring countries like Azerbaijan, Armenia, Turkey and Russia, what are the difficulties in this process?
Actually, the four countries, our neighboring, actually we can say that Georgia is on the crossroad between the two main geopolitical vectors. Regarding Azerbaijan and Turkey, we are strategic partners, engaged and involved in the strategic projects like pipelines, like infrastructure, so on. Turkey is the member of NATO. Georgia's NATO aspiration is evident, and we made significant steps. Regarding Armenia, they are our neighbors. We have historical relationship between two countries. We try to do our best to participate and contribute to the peaceful resolution of Karabakh conflict. Regrettably, Georgia is very small, and it's not depend just only for Georgia, but we try our best. Regarding Russia, Russia is the I can say that this is the most dangerous neighbor for us, not just only for Georgia. First of all, why? Because this is an unpredictable partner, unreliable partner. Another point is that Russia's goal, it's not creation relationship between the independent and similar on this similar conditions. Russia always prefers to speak about the privileged interest, speak as a elder brother, and so on, so on. Actually, if we look on the Russian strategic documents, like the military doctrine, like the foreign relation concept, and national security strategy, we see that this relationship what we have and projects we are developed, I mean regional cooperation, they are against the Russia identifies as against of their state interest. Actually, I can't understand why, because Russia already had neighboring countries which are already member of NATO, of EU, and EU and NATO membership made these countries just more secure, more democratic, more developed, and Russia has predictable, very secure and reliable partners like Baltic states, like Poland, and like others. So if Georgia will become member of NATO or join EU, it just strengthening Georgia as a country. It makes situation in the South Caucasus much more stable when we have today. So it should be under interest of every democratic country. Unfortunately, Russia is not democracy. So the main problem is it's somehow mental problem, because Russia still thinks as a post-Soviet empire. And is not ready to the open and transparency relations. This is the main problem.
In this situation, my question is that what's your prediction, and what Georgia and Russia has to do to normalize relationship?
Thank you for this question. From one side, it's very simple to answer. Russia have to withdraw its military forces from our occupied territories. Be more peaceful and reliable regarding neighboring countries. But it's just wish, because today, unfortunately, from Russia side, we not see the steps which can contribute in the normalizing this relation. The problem is the understanding of normalization. So Georgia speaks about the normalization, and as well as Russia speaks about the normalization of bilateral relations. Yeah, but the problem is that Russia understands as a relation between Russia, Georgia. So they separate Russia, Georgia, Russia, Abkhazia, Russia, South Ossetia. At the same time, Georgia recognizes just relations between two countries, it's Georgia and Russia. So, if it's not against of our territorial integrity, our state interest, and our statehood, we are ready to do everything. I mean, we are ready to contribute in the regional security, in the economic cooperation, so on, so on. We try, and we already launched the bilateral dialogue with Russia. I can see that Russia is ready for the great success, because every day they make new barriers and try to they already talking again about the so-called new reality and independence of occupied territories. But the main problem in our relationship, of course, it's the free choice of Georgian population to join Euro-Atlantic community, Euro-Atlantic family. The country like Russia, which still governed by the Soviet methods, by the KGB methods, this regime recognizes a threat democracy and transparency. So wherefore I mentioned that it's the mental problem. It's absolutely another understanding of statehood, of security, because even if we talk about the security in the democratic countries, it means security of citizen, security of population, and this is equal to the state security. In the Russia, it's the security of the government, of sovereign, governed elite, and not society. No one cares about the citizen. And this is the difference between the totalitarian regime and between the democratic regime.
Okay, what's NATO role in this process, and is NATO support to Georgia enough nowadays?
Of course, NATO supports, and if we look through our way, we already pass very significant tests. It's a way to build successful country because our cooperation with NATO, it starts in 1992, and since when we have high dynamic, and year by year we strengthening our cooperation. So if we look even for our military system, our army, armed forces, defense system, security system, reforms Georgia successfully managed, so on, it's because of transformation and because of aspiration process, and because Western countries, alliance member countries, help Georgia in these reforms and in these ways.
And what's the main target of relationship between Georgia? You said about reform, and now which programs are implemented between Georgia and NATO?
Actually, there are two key formats. Established after Bucharest summit in 2008, it's the NATO-Georgia Commission. It's the high-level dialogue and gives wide opportunity for cooperation, and annual national program which covers, as I can say, everything: security reforms, democratic reforms, including good governance, justice reforms, elections, so on. So it's like an action plan how to democratize country and how Georgia can become as a stable democracy. And under these two formats are contrasted our relation. Very soon we are expected a visit of North Atlantic Council. Usually North Atlantic Council, as Mr. James Aparturai already mentioned, that NAC, North Atlantic Council, they usually hadn't meeting in the third parties, but if we like this, they choose Georgia. So third time we already have such visit, which is very, very important.
Okay, and what concrete reforms in army did Georgia do in the last years?
Actually, we already have new SDR, Strategic Defense Review. It's signed already by the president 2 weeks ago. So the main challenge I saw now, it's that Georgia already announced that it's prepared to change army to become on the professional level and has full professional army. Of course, this is education, because a country like Georgia needs very strong education, including the military education. Of course, human resources management. Georgia is not the, unfortunately, very rich country, so wherefore budgeting, smart defense, and another point is that threats, because threats today goes beyond the geographical border. If we talk today, for instance, about the terrorism or trafficking or cyber security and so on. They need strengthening international cooperation, and therefore we are in the Afghanistan, and Georgia is #1 contributor between the non-member states.
I want to know about the meaning of aspirant country. What means this term?
It's it was introduced on the last summit. Georgia officially named as an aspirant country. So there are 4. The 3 countries who already had MEP and are official candidates. It's Macedonia, Bosnia, and Montenegro, and Georgia. Georgia hasn't MEP, but Georgia nominated on the same level. So if we have enlargement summit, one of the countries who are the closer to the alliance are between those 4 countries. I mean, all 4 countries. And now we are trying to strengthening this format, aspirant 4, strengthening our relations, share experience in reforms, and so on, so on. So this is very significant step, which makes Georgia closer. At least it means as a main strategic partner. In the wider understanding, it means as a candidate to become as a member of alliance.
Did you finish IPAP document?
Yes, definitely. We finished it, and we has the assessment was very good. And after when we launched, regrettably Georgia hadn't MEP. We're not granted MEP, but we have NATO Georgia Commission, and we have annual national program. And the concept, I mean, the sense of these documents is very, very similar to the membership action plan. And in the decisions of NATO summit, like in 2010, in Lisbon summit, and as well as in decisions of Chicago summit, it was mentioned that NATO Georgian Commission and annual national program are the significant instrument to fulfill Bucharest commitment. And Bucharest commitment and Bucharest decision is that Georgia will become member of NATO. So it's very equal to a membership action plan.
And could you inform about the reforms which are intended to bring Georgia to real democratic country according to this document which was signed between Georgia and NATO?
So we already passed one very significant test. It was election in 2012, October 1st election. We have upcoming presidential election. So it's once again, it covers everything. This is good governance. It's justice reforms. You know, reforms. It's a process. You never can stop. You always have to improve and improve. So it's like our homework or our obligation to become member of NATO. Usually, there is 2 most important things. The first one is that country should be the significant contributor in the entire Euro-Atlantic security, and Georgia is significant contributor. And another most important thing is the country should share these values and implement it, and has the democratic model, and it should become stable democracy.
Does Georgia have any mechanism about control on army?
Yeah, definitely. It's a very strong mechanism of civil control. So one point is the parliamentary control from the Parliament, Defense and Security Commission and Committee and members of Parliament. But I have to underline the wide participation of civil society in this process, including all kind of tenders. We have in the Ministry of Defense, it's in the education system, it's even SDR, it was created after wide conversation and communication with civil society. I can send that many of our remarks and suggestions now we have in the document.
There was information that 5 years ago about 70–80% of the population of Georgia supported NATO membership. And what about for present days?
So actually we have the similar. After 2008 we hadn't any another plebiscite, but according to opinion polls, the last opinion polls, it's still higher with 70%.
And what do you think about Georgia and Azerbaijan political military cooperation?
It's very important. You know, Georgia and Azerbaijan, we form the gateway between the Europe and Asia, and this corridor, it means that we at least have to protect our statehood. International projects, what we have, like pipelines, railways, so on. But regrettably, it could be interesting as well for the international crime, for the terrorists and so on. And Azerbaijan knows exactly what is terrorist threat. Regrettably, Georgia knows as well. Azerbaijan knows what is separatism, what is the conflict. Georgia knows it as well. Azerbaijan knows very well, regrettably once again, what is cyber threats. The same we have. So we have similar threats. Once again, all threats, all challenges are interconnected today. And we need strengthening our cooperation to manage our security and to be successful, to create most efficient prevention mechanism.
A few months ago, Minister of Defense of Georgia came to Azerbaijan, and what do you think? Is it possible for two countries to participate in the joint defense industry projects?
Actually, as I know, outcome of this visit, it was a very nice visit. I think it's necessary to, because once again, we are cooperating and we are friends, not because we are against of someone. The point is that regional security, it's impossible without regional cooperation, including the military cooperation. Because, for instance, Georgia's border can't be secure if Azerbaijan's border is not secure. Azerbaijan can't be successful in the security reforms without the supports from outside and from neighboring countries. So we all are in the, like, we are not just in our neighbors, we all are in the same boat, and we have to care about this security. Of course we have to strengthen this.
What's your prediction in this case? What field Azerbaijan and Georgia can increase their relationship?
In the, you mean security? And
yes.
Yeah. First of all, it's the terrorist threat. First of all, it's a terrorist threat. Actually, what is mentioned in the NATO's strategic concept, that we have new threats. We have new threats like international terrorism, right? Like drug circulation, like trafficking, international crimes, separatism, as well as our region. It's very the security area is very changeable, because we have North Caucasus, we have Iran, we have tension on the Caspian region, and of course we have occupied territories, we have conflicts, we have Karabakh. So we have to strengthening our peaceful initiatives and at the same time strengthening our military cooperation. We need new technologies, we need new education, new education programs, and so on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.